Shut up and sit down.
You're listening to the Cheaters Never Pin podcast, a proud part of the Section 328 family. Follow us on Twitter at CheatersInVRPin. Now, live from ringside, it's Mr. Workrate and JC. Welcome to the number one wrestling podcast recorded by two guys who think Breezango should be the next IWGP World Heavyweight Tag Team Champions.
He speaks the truth.
This is Cheaters Never Pin. We're glad you joined us today.
We're glad you join us any day, but today is a special day because it's the one that we're doing right now.
Yeah. I'm JC, here next to me here at the commentary booth. My good buddy, Mr. Workrate, Tom.
Hey.
Hey. How you
Chris
doing?
is not here. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah. Now you're back to just us dicks.
Yeah. He was too good, so we got rid of him.
Right?
I can't lose another job. I'm just saying.
Sad laughter. We got a half-empty show for you tonight because not much is happening. Just gonna lay that out.
And we had a few notes saying, guys, 2 hours. That's a long time.
Yeah, so we're gonna roll right through this tonight, which is good because it's been real boring this week.
Because you got to figure if we're gonna go 2+ hours, we're gonna end up being like other professional wrestling podcasts.
There's one I listen to that routinely goes like anywhere from 4 to 5.
And JC, what happened when we did the Cheaters Never Pin podcast?
Well, roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
All right, so tonight on the show, we're going to talk Extreme Rules because that's on Sunday, which means we'll be back to 2 hours next week because there's a fucking pay-per-view.
God, that popped up. I was like, oh, God, that's right. That's Didn't we just have a pay-per-view last week?
Yeah, welcome back to the cycle of every 2 weeks until we start the build to SummerSlam. Oh, boy. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
We've got a 10 count with no deaths. 2 weeks in a row, Tom.
The gods must be happy or pleased for some reason.
The counter on my board that counts how many deaths, how many weeks free of death, I didn't buy a 2, so just had to write it on there.
You just got to get one of the chalk ones.
That's
or
true.
dry erase board at least.
That's a good idea.
No one has chalkboards anymore. This isn't like 1971.
You can totally afford it if you go to patreon.com/section328. And then we got our match exchange.
Which I think I remembered to partially do.
Yep, same here. About an hour ago.
We're efficient.
Yep. All right. Well, let's continue the efficiency and talk about Extreme Rules coming up Sunday. Give our predictions and our thoughts on the build and what's going on. Overall thoughts on the way this card looks before we dive in.
I just enjoy Extreme Rules just for the fact that now in the PG era of the WWE, you're limited to the amount of, for lack of a better term, extremity that you can do on a pay-per-view or a regular show or anything like that. So it's interesting to me that they still try to throw some kind of stipulation in every match. So,
well, it's the one night of the year WWE goes extreme, except for, Hell in a Cell and TLC and all those other ones.
By which you mean nobody's paycheck is actually going to clear the following day?
They're not fucking what culture? Sick burn.
Damn you, YouTube.
Yeah, they stopped paying people, apparently. All right, so let's go through. I think the card's fine. Whatever, it's a B show. There's not a match on here that I look at and go, oh, that's going to be terrible. The matches all seem like they'll be good. Well, there's one that I think will probably be awful. But
Well,
5
understand
out of
that
6 home run.
it can't be too extreme because there is no Z at the end of rules.
But there's a Z in Hardy Boys. So the Z is still, the 90s Z is there.
Yeah.
So we're fine. All right, let's go through this card. We'll start from the bottom and get to the top like we're Drake.
Okay.
Rich Swann and Sasha Banks take on Noam Dar and Alicia Fox. Because apparently a mixed tag team match is extreme. One, why is it Rich Swann and not Cedric Alexander? And two, the faces are winning.
It's Rich Swann and not Cedric Alexander because WWE booking committee or probably Michael Hayes can't tell the difference between black people.
Oh, Jesus. Do.
Here we go.
I'm glad there are more and more podcasts just giving us P.S. Hayes-isms.
Have we offended anyone yet? We will.
Everybody.
Both of our listeners.
You know, we had our most listened to show ever last week. I didn't tell you this. We had our most listened. So I can already see the chart going down.
Well, the moment that I said Chris wasn't here kind of cut our viewership.
People were trying to. It's still downloading, and you can start listening before it finishes downloading. They're trying to stop it so it doesn't count. Yeah, the match should be whatever. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean,
for good workers, whatever. I'm not worried about it.
I was interested. I did not realize Alicia Fox's backstory in that both she and what's her face there? I can't think of her name.
Sasha?
No, the girl that had the same first and last name. She was with ECW at first.
Kelly.
Yeah. The two of them were hired. They were models and they were just hired basically on looks to the point where they just decided to hire them and then put them into developmental to teach them how to wrestle. And that was like 6-7 years ago. And Alicia Fox is still around doing picture perfect Northern Light suplexes. And
according to Meltzer, the best one in professional wrestling.
It's pretty. I mean, it is because she does a damn near perfect bridge. But
yeah, she's a fine wrestler. She's perfectly fine.
She's fine.
I like watching her.
Her eyes bother me.
Go on.
They're small. They're very small.
Hold on. Let me Google this.
And it may be because of the eye makeup she wears or something like that. Because on the tap out or whatever commercial that starts before half of the network programming, you see her and she doesn't really have the makeup on, so her eyes look somewhat normal. But when I see her, like when she's in ring gear and stuff like that, her eyes just seem tiny.
Yeah, I kind of see what you're saying. Her eyes are going to be so tiny, she's going to lose this match.
Yeah.
Okay. Neville versus Austin Aries for the Cruiserweight Championship in a submission match. Extreme.
It's not an I Quit match.
Nope.
It's a submission match, so it's a tappy tap tap match.
Tappy tap tap match.
Tappy tap tap. It's a Happy Gilmore match.
Thanks, Cole. Yeah. Again, it'll be
go into your home.
It'll be another really good match. I saw them last Saturday in Greensboro, and they had a very good match, which the first 5 minutes of was Neville just running around the ring and yelling at this one woman in the front row for 5 solid minutes. She was up in his face back. It was fantastic. Really, really good match, I'm sure. Especially if it's close, obviously that wasn't a submission match that I saw, but if the structure of the match is the same, and I'm sure it will be because it's WWE, it'll be really good. I'm going to say Neville's still going to retain because Austin Aries tapped him on Monday.
Yeah, it's Neville's going to hold this title for as long as we can pretty much milk out of it. Aries if Aries wasn't getting the title with the initial rub when he came back and was hot as all hell, then he's not getting it anytime soon. And whatever kind of shine he had when he first came back is kind of worn off by now.
Right.
He's fine for 205 at this point, but he's not at Neville's level at this point, so why bother to take the belt off him? It's not going to do anything. It's probably going to kill it dead that way. So
why will they call up Hideo Itami to take this belt off Neville?
Because they've paid him for damn near 3 years now, and God damn it, I'm going to get something out of that.
I don't think he was actually hurt. I think he had one of those Lloyds of London deals, and he was cashing it in like he was Mr.
Lloyds
Perfect.
of London doesn't do that stuff anymore.
Shh, kayfabe.
Sorry, brother.
The Hardy Boys take on Cesaro and Sheamus in a steel cage match. Extreme.
The steelest of all cage matches.
So we're getting a swanton off the top of the cage.
No.
No?
No, I was agreeing with you.
I thought you said no. Yeah.
I just made a noise.
They could switch the belts here, and I'd be fine with that. But I don't see a reason to, because then I guess that means that WWE Great Balls of Fire, there would be the rematch.
Goodness gracious.
But I don't know.
I don't know if I mentioned it on the podcast or I said it out loud, or I know I've mentioned it to you in passing outside of that, but when is Rebby Hardy going to have this baby? She's like 11 months pregnant.
That's a real good question. Let me Google that.
And eventually, I mean, I know last time I saw a picture of her, which was probably damn near a few weeks, maybe even a month ago, she was pretty damn pregnant.
Yeah, I'm checking her Twitter. Keep talking.
And she's like, I think she's got to be like any week now, if not any day now. So, and I've been under the impression that when she gives birth or when she's ready to actually give birth, that's when you're going to see the title change so that Matt can get a little bit of time off to spend with his family and just kind of do some positive home alone time. And maybe that's when we start to see, I don't know, something that's not necessarily broken, but maybe something whatever we can legally do at this point, but at least something still at the compound, maybe. So
yeah. She tweeted 23 hours ago that she was 8 months pregnant while replacing the carpet in the Hardy arcade. Number one, kick-ass girl.
Maybe the Hardys retain here. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Again, it'll be a fine match, but we've seen it, so
yeah.
People will be thrown into the cage. Jeff will do a swanton off the top.
There will be no blood because we don't do that stuff anymore.
What? But it's the one night of the year WWE goes extreme, Tom. Come on. It's not. I mean, I guess the only way you can get juice in this day and age is if Brock Lesnar gives you a concussion with his elbow.
Yeah.
That would be extreme. Alexa Bliss versus Bayley in a kendo stick on a pole match for the Raw Women's Championship. Yes, it's 2017. God damn it. Did you just hear my echo? I forgot to unplug it again.
You just ordered kendo sticks.
I wonder if that would work. Hold on. All right, this is good podcast material. Alexa, order kendo sticks. Oh, it's only $22. No. I don't know if any of that got picked up.
No. It's just
oh my
you
God.
being...
Alexa, stop. All right. Oh, I guess I'll tweak that. So I was going to say I'll tweak that in post, but I guess if you're listening to this, you just heard it. But yes, you can buy a 2-pack of kendo sticks for $22 on Amazon.
Ooh.
Tommy Dreamer's excited. Anyway, Alexa Bliss and Bayley, kendo stick on a pole. Oh, God damn it. All right, anyway, just did it again.
I just Miss Bliss, which I've learned to say around these parts so that my dots don't go off.
Good call.
There's nothing for Bayley to be gained here. I mean, theoretically, I guess they're going to want to have her gain her one-ups. Yeah. They've been booking her recently, if you've managed to bother to watch Raw the last couple of weeks. They've been trying to get this underdog thing back, and with just Alexa... Nope. Okay, I'm safe. With Miss Bliss being this mean bitch, just a mean girl across the board, and so you can actually gain some sympathy for Bayley, and it's not really working necessarily, and it's just going to get down to the fact that she's going to have to get knocked back down the ladder. So I think Alexa takes this one, whether it's a thing of she'll get the stick, or Bayley will probably end up getting the kendo stick, which doesn't make you win the match necessarily.
No, it just gives you the right to use it.
Yeah, she'll get the stick, and I don't know if it's a case of maybe Nia Jax will show up and attack her from behind, make her drop the stick, and then
if Alexa Bliss, or I'm sorry, if Nia Jax shows up, she's just gonna stare at them because eyes.
Yeah, it's true. So
but
yeah, Alexa's not dropping this trap here.
No, okay. I'm really. I think I've covered this many, many times. I'm so sick of Bayley. I'm over it. I'm over the way, and it's not her. It's the way she's been booked. It's the way they're making her out to be this total geek. The Bayley, This Is Your Life segment on Monday, which is probably the worst, one of the 5 worst segments I've ever seen on Raw in my life. Did her no favors. If you're going to book a This Is Your Life, which I don't know why WWE loves This Is Your Life segments so much, but they do. But if you're going to book that, you need to book it to where the things that are being presented are still noble, redeemable traits that the heel is ripping apart, rather than, oh, look, Bayley has an overprotective dad. Oh, look, she's never kissed a boy. Oh, look, for some reason, all we're talking about now is her ex-boyfriend wanted to hook up with her best friend. Oh, look, she had a doll. And it goes on for 20 minutes. It was awful. And Alexa did the best she could with it. And then Bayley she should have come out 30 minutes earlier. As in, this never should have happened. But it did nothing but tear Bayley down and look like a complete idiot, instead of making her more endearing to the fans. So I hope Alexa Bliss wins this. Hope she beats Bayley with a kendo stick so hard she's unrecognizable and she gets off TV for 6 months, so we can fix this character.
Yeah, I've got nothing else to say to that. I mean, outside of I don't want her maimed necessarily.
I want the character to be unrecognizable, not Bayley.
But then we'll get Luchador Bayley.
Oh, that'd be fun. Her and El Generico could tag team. Come on, that sounds great.
Okay,
now I'm back in.
Yeah, let's move on.
In the SmackDown rematch of the century, or some bullshit like that, Dean Ambrose faces The Miz with this Intercontinental Championship on the line. And the extreme angle here is if Ambrose is disqualified, he will lose the title. So Maurice is totally hitting The Miz, and The Miz is winning the title, right? This is going to be a 30-second encounter.
I was going to say, we'll get some kind of... I mean, there's no way that Dean doesn't lose the title by disqualification.
No. And like I said, this stip is so dumb in the fact that if the Miz and Maurice are smart, which they are because we book the heels to be super geniuses half the time and the baby faces to look like the idiots, as soon as they come out and the bell rings, Maurice should just hop in the ring, clock Miz, match over. So why put this dumbass stipulation there to where that's all people are going to be thinking the whole time is, why doesn't Maurice just hit him so they win the belt?
I think ideally what you end up doing is you do something like that in the first 30 seconds.
Don't say restart the match, no DQ.
No, but instead of doing the disqualification, the referee, being not a complete idiot, understands what's going on and maybe sends Maurice off.
True.
And then you get the match, and then you're still going to have some kind of screw job where I don't know if Miz does the Eddie Guerrero grab the belt and then drop it next to him and then get knocked out by it or something along those lines. But yeah, I would like to see that, just because everybody and their cousin's been saying, well, yeah, Maurice is going to interfere immediately and screw the match over. Send her back, whether she interferes or not, just send her back immediately so you just have one-on-one, and then we'll have the tomfoolery happen after at least, 12 minutes of action or whatever.
Yeah. And let's hope Dean doesn't phone in a match again, because he's real good at that.
Yeah.
This is the one match I see as being the worst match on the show.
Yeah, it could very well be. And just bite your lip and realize that The Miz probably has to carry this match.
Yep. Absolutely.
And that's not saying necessarily that Dean can't have a good match, but in a match like this, especially if you're doing, I guess what is the opposite of Extreme Rules. Dean Ambrose's offense is done in such a way that you have to sell the shit out of it, and Miz is going to have to sell the shit out of it. And he's going to have to make it believable that Dean is pretty much controlling the match and, use his dickish heel ways to, be the coward and back off, and then because everyone knows that Miz is going to find some way to screw Dean out of this, because this is a hole that he's in with this stipulation. So we know that it's going to happen, but how's it going to happen? So we'll have several aborted attempts and things like that. But it's up to the Miz here to have a halfway decent match, and I think he's up to it. But we'll have to see if Dean's up to it and if they do it the way that we want them to.
Yep. And if there's one match they can destructively overbook, it is this one because of that stipulation. So my expectations here are very low, which, it's WWE, so it's very low comparatively. All right. Then the main event of the evening, for the first time ever, a fatal 5-way Extreme Rules match to determine the number one contender for the Universal Championship: Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, Bray Wyatt, Samoa Joe.
The losers die.
Jesus. That's extreme.
Is that not what fatal 5-way means?
I never even thought that.
I thought that was the stipulation.
The four losers all have to do that samurai thing where they stab themselves with the sword, right on the stage.
Well, it could be you have the first person who wins gets to be the number one contender, and then you just keep going. Then you have 4 remaining, and then
the number 2 contender.
Eventually, you go through 2, 3, and then you're down to 2, and then the last person dies.
That is extreme.
There you go. It's The Running Man, but in 2017. Wait, what year was The Running Man set in?
I don't even know. Google that.
Working on it now.
There you go.
I love that movie.
I don't know that I've ever seen it all the way through. Anyway, I legit think any of the five guys could win, which is good. I think Joe has the least chance of winning.
Right.
Which, I feel bad for Joe. Which I think therefore puts Rollins at a lower chance of winning since they're embroiled in a feud. The Balor-Wyatt thing that was teased never kicked off, so they have that as a trigger they can pull and go to for Great Balls of Fire and or SummerSlam. I don't want Roman to win because it is not time. Also, we're getting Roman and Brock at WrestleMania, so that's a thing. So
yeah,
and this is leaving my fanboy bag at the door. Finn has the best chance of winning this match. He's also has the best claim to stake in that he never lost the title. So he should have this chance. So storyline-wise, it works. You've had Heyman come out and pump him up. It'll be a very good match. You've got four of the best workers in the company in the match. And Bray Wyatt. So it'll be good.
Leave Husky alone.
I know. I love him, but it's not that I don't like him. He's not on the level of the other four guys. Work rate wise. So I think Finn's going to win in a very good match.
Yeah, I think they're going to pull out all the stops. I think it's being positioned to have Finn win the match. Again, you mentioned the thing with Heyman. It just seems like out of place to have that and not do anything with it. It could be something to totally screw him over and build to something else, maybe at SummerSlam or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. Whereas, Brock somehow or some kind of interference causes Finn to not win the match for whatever reason to build the feud further. I don't know. Heyman doesn't have anybody else that could technically screw him over, so I don't know. But yeah, Finn's being put in that position. Everybody else is kind of like background filler at this point, so I think you go with him. I think it leads to an interesting match. Just the contrast in styles with him and Lesnar should make for an interesting match. I don't know how the hell they're going to book it, but that's not my job. But yeah, I've gotten to the point now that I want to see Finn win this match, and it's going to be a very strong match. I think, because like you said, again, you've got the good workers in there, you've got kind of different storylines going, and it should be done well. I mean, there's no Money in the Bank necessarily hanging from the ceiling, but it's going to be a similar type of match to that. So where you're going to get a lot of near falls and people breaking up pins and 2 9/10 counts and that type of thing. But
yeah, it'll be really good. It's the match I'm most intrigued by on the entire card.
Yeah, it's what it's been completely built around, so it better be good. It's going to be a long one too.
It's supposed to change the course of the new era if you pay attention to the adverts.
Yeah.
So, which when they say stuff like that, that means they're thinking, oh, we're going to swerve everybody somehow, which also makes me really, really nervous.
Yeah. The Running Man.
Okay, yeah, I wrote that down. When was Running Man, Tom?
After a worldwide economic collapse, the U.S. has become a totalitarian police state censoring all cultural activity.
So 2019 is when you're saying this is.
2019 is when the movie takes place.
Oh shit, that was such a good guess.
The Running Man show, which this is based around, begins in 2017.
So what you're telling me...
We are living The Running Man right now.
I would say, you're telling me Running Man was a documentary about what's about to happen.
Yep.
Yep.
Replaced Richard Dawson with Donald Trump, and we are set to go.
That's what happens when you get all the Kovifi.
I knew I liked that movie too much. Damn it. I didn't really wish for it to happen. Or did I?
Dun, 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 dun. But you know where people can see that movie or buy that movie?
I'd love to be able to buy that movie, but how?
If you want to buy that movie, you go to cheatersneverpin.com and you click yeah, it's on our website. We actually, so not only are we doing wrestling podcasts, we're now a streaming subscription service.
All right.
Forgot to tell you that. No, so you go to cheatersneverpin.com, click the Amazon button on the front page. It's going to take you to Amazon. It looks like Amazon. It works like Amazon. You can shop for Running Man like you would on Amazon, and it's still Amazon. And then when you check out like normal. It doesn't charge you anything extra, but it kicks a few pennies back into the Cheaters Never Pin coffer, which we appreciate because doing this is expensive. I spend millions of dollars a week on production costs.
They're Zimbabwe dollars, but still.
Just putting the match exchange thing together was about $23,000.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's a lot of exterior costs that we explained to you, but we're not going to bother.
Nope. Yep.
That's another podcast of its own.
Yep. So you can go to Amazon or cheatersneverpin.com, click on the Amazon button on the front page, do your shopping like normal. When you're finished, kicks back a few cents to us to help us cover the cost of the show and doing it for you each week. And we greatly appreciate it. And we appreciate Amazon for giving us some of their money.
And hey, if you're into it, if you like Cheaters Never Pin and our sister podcast? I guess it is. They say sister, they don't say brother. So our tag team partner podcast.
There you go. That's on brand.
Yeah. The Cheaters Never Win podcast, which goes about hockey and alcohol and all that type of stuff with Derek and Mike. You'd know that we have merch for Section 328. A large variety of t-shirts, including a Pucking Sunshine shirt.
Yes. I got mine today.
For Mr. JC there and his regular column that he does over on section328.com.
You want that shit.
So you can go and you can click on our Amazon.com link on Cheaters Never Pin and then buy JC's t-shirt or several other Section 328 t-shirts. Allegedly, the Shut Up Tom t-shirt may be up there soon, along with some other quality merch. So if you do that, it doubles your efforts of putting a few pennies in our pockets, both by using the affiliate link and by buying some of our merch. So please feel free, buy some stuff there.
We want money.
Is your subliminal message over?
I'm glad I didn't throw you off. I'm really excited to listen back to that part of the show.
I am so impressed that I got through that whole thing.
Too.
I don't know how the hell I did that.
Oh.
And the whole time I'm thinking of, do you have mesothelioma?
Why did that come to mind?
Because in certain other podcasts, they make a few ducats there by certain ambulance chasing lawyers defending mesothelioma victims. So
yes, no.
Yeah, I've only been listening to like one podcast repeatedly and back episodes of it. So
back in the archives.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Also, another podcast note. We Built the City is worse than Final Countdown. Just throwing it out there. Mike.
Yes. We can agree on that one.
You're outnumbered 3-1, Mike.
It's more than 3-1 because of some outside references.
Yeah, but those people don't have podcasts, Tom.
That's true.
We obviously know everything and are way more important than all of our listeners.
Don't listen to him. You're very important to us. Please don't leave.
Please stay.
We need you.
Yes. Roll Tide.
It hurts me to say that because fuck Nick Saban.
Fuck
really.
Alabama.
Fuck him in his ear.
Fuck the SEC. Is it the first time you've ever said fuck on this show?
It may be, but
holy shit, this is a monumental episode.
As a Dolphins fan,
Okay.
I really
Fair.
hate Nick Saban a lot.
I can understand that.
So
Oh, I did think of another bit we need to do.
Okay.
Live in-game updates. Because
Oh.
I know how well that goes over.
So what's happening on NXT right now?
Nothing, because it's 9:00.
I was gonna say it's over now.
I was gonna say Nashville and Pittsburgh are tied 1-1 with 15:28 in the second period.
All right.
There you go.
That's hockey for those
That's
of you.
hockey.
That
See,
may not be-
we're trying to bring the brands together, so people want to listen to both. Synergy.
And numerous wrestlers, I should say, are big Nashville Predators fans. Both Eric Young and Rusev, and I guess Lana by association,
Right.
are big Nashville Predators fans. So
Yep.
I mean, that's why we're not getting a big Rusev angle right now, because Stanley Cup.
Speaking of Lana, why is she not in the women's Money in the Bank match?
Because she's coming.
Hey, now, calm it. It's a family podcast.
Really? Because I just said fuck like 2 minutes ago.
I also just kept whispering, buy our shit under you for a good 30 seconds.
Well, that's how the NWO started.
True.
And look
That's
how
what we
successful
need.
they were.
We need some viral okay, if anyone want to make us some viral marketing of black and white images of us, say this is a paid advertisement by Cheaters Never Pin, and it's us in leather jackets, which just buy me the Finn one from WWE shop. I'd appreciate it. And it's just us looking really cool, and then we can come down from the ceiling on a motorcycle, and then we can give away the results of what happened on Cheaters Never Pin or Win, the other show. It'd be fucking great. It's a good angle to shoot.
JC,
Yeah.
what happened when you became Eric Bischoff? Roll Tide.
I'm dyeing my hair jet black tomorrow.
What happened when you became a Ken doll?
Okay. So back on topic. Hey, remember we wanted to keep this show short? LOL. Women's Money in the Bank is happening, finally.
Yay.
Yay. I kind of like how they shot this angle Tuesday.
Yeah. I mean, you've got the competitors to be able to do this now. It's a different type of women's division than there ever has been. So, I mean, you've got people like Becky and Charlotte. I don't know what the hell Tamina's going to do, but
no.
Except do
She's just
a
gonna
really
be-
bad
she's-
Superfly splash.
She's just going to be a total badass.
Yeah, she's going to
she
push
was-
over the ladder like 100 fucking times.
She was great on Tuesday. She had like some, I think I even tweeted this. She had like fire and passion, and like she was just destroying shit. I was like, thank God she's not just like another person. Like that's her thing.
Which is great, but
Hallelujah.
she's not a good worker.
No, she's not. But if she's going to be there, she needs to fill a role, and that's a role they didn't have, was a destroyer in this division.
I mean, she is the Nia Jax, except with maybe a little bit of training.
Can they tag team?
And
I just
have
want to. I
and
love
Tamina
them.
be the strong one.
I love both of them, but how bad would that tag team be, Tom?
I mean, see, that's the thing about Nia, is that she's booked to be this monster, and she's not strong.
No. Bless her heart.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm really excited for this. When's the last time we had a women's ladder match of any kind? Ever?
Never.
Yeah. So this is like
We haven't had.
this should close the show.
Yeah, it should, or at least. Well, I don't know what else is going to be on.
The men's Money in the Bank match, Jinder versus Orton. New Day and Usos. The Hot Cops and the Shining Stars. I think that's all it's booked so far.
Well, you're going to have to break it up somewhat. You can't have both the Money in the Bank matches at the same time.
Yeah.
Like back to back.
They'll have the men's one closed, so when Shinsuke wins, it'll be a big celebration. We'll get to that next week.
I was going to say, we'll get to that next week.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this. Because I know the reports where they're going to do it. And then they announced that 5-way for Tuesday to determine the number one contender. And I was like, plan just changed, didn't they, Melts? And then this was the plan. This was the plan all along. And I could not be more excited. As soon as this match didn't start and that started happening, I was like, oh shit, here we go. We're getting that Money in the Bank match.
There was some destruction, though.
I loved that. It went on just a skosh too long.
Yeah.
But it was really good. It made me excited to see it. None of these 5 women can get along. So let them just destroy each other and
that was the thing.
One of WWE's most extreme nights of the year. And have fun. It'll be good.
So James Ellsworth is going to die during this, right?
Oh God, yeah, he'll be out there. Oh no. That'll be great. Yeah. He's taking a bump.
Yeah. He's going off the ladder, probably straight to the floor.
So do you give them a different briefcase or they're just 2 blue briefcases? You should be distinguished a little bit differently. But, if this was the Divas era, it would be a pink rhinestone butterfly briefcase.
Now, mind you, it's for any title, though, isn't it?
No.
This can't be like a Money in the Bank thing where you can challenge for just only one belt.
I believe they're both for their brand.
Okay, but what's to say Natalya takes the Money in the Bank, can she challenge Kevin Owens?
Woof.
Well, why not? Outside of the fact that would be horrible, but still. Why are we talking about this now? We were going to make this short. This was something that we are going to talk about next week. If you're listening, ignore this part.
I just wanted to put it on there because I thought it was exciting that they actually announced it and booked it. That's all.
Okay. Yes, it is very exciting.
Are you telling me to go to the 10 count?
I just rolled out of the ring.
Oh, shit. All right. 10 count time. 10 count. This is 10 news bits in wrestling from things that happened this week. It was a pretty quiet week, so this got kind of tough.
We need we do need a little musical interlude there eventually one day.
Should I just remake Match Exchange where it goes 10 count?
1.
An explosion.
2.
Oh my God! If it's just a full 10 count, we just waste 10 seconds of the show.
But well, if it's WWE 10 count, it's going to be like 30 seconds of the show.
Yeah.
So we'll have to do a New Japan 10 count. So it'll literally be 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. All right.
And I'll count there. I don't know.
Right. All right. 10 count. 10 things in wrestling. Number 1. Design plans apparently leaked for a possible WWE theme park. So we need your Patreon money so we can be there opening day if it happens.
Yeah. That's just, there are too many ideas for that.
Oh yeah, and let me pull up the article here because they listed some things that were potential ride concepts in this design plan. Here we go. Concept names entitled Road to WrestleMania. Okay. The Andre the Giant Funhouse. I don't even know what that means. What would that entail?
Lots of beer.
That's all I could think. And a haunted house with relations to The Undertaker and the Boogeyman. Because those are 2 gimmicks that should be mentioned in the same sentence.
Yeah, they're like the same thing, aren't they?
Yeah. So, Tom, if you had to create a ride for this theme park, what would it be?
I was thinking more along the lines of attractions, not necessarily a ride.
Well, all right, yeah.
Well,
it's not a theme park, it's an entertainment park, Tom.
The enclosed pool area petting zoo?
I thought you could have the Roman Reigns roller coaster and it never quite get over the top.
Okay.
That was a good joke.
I tried to be as offensive as possible, and it just... You had to sell Roman, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Number 2.
2.
Okay, this is the bit. Now you have to just yell the numbers every time. You just put yourself in that corner. All right, do it again.
2.
Thank you. Best of the Super Juniors. Will Ospreay has won Block A and will be in the final. And Jushin Thunder Liger actually won a match, finally.
Damn right he did.
He defeated Tai Chi with a hell of a lot of help, but he got his win. So he is eliminated, as he was last week, but he is now eliminated for all time from Best of the Super Juniors because he said he was.
Considering he was the oldest participant in this year's Best of the Super Juniors, the oldest participant in last year's Best of the Super Juniors, and the oldest participant in the Best of the Super Juniors before that. It's probably time for him to wrap that down. And the thing is, he still can put together a halfway decent match, but at this point in Japan, instead of how, say, like former stars would want to book themselves in America, in Japan, a guy like Liger can turn around and go, you know what? It's not my time anymore. I'm going to put over these guys because they're the greatest that we have in the world pretty much right now. And I had my time on top. It's time for me to make these guys look good. And that's what he did. And he probably would have been fine going out without any wins. And they're like, no, we need to give you one because otherwise everyone's going to revolt, including the guy who does the podcast from Raleigh.
Yep. I agree.
They ripped his Tai
Chi took out some scissors and cut his mask and his bodysuit.
Yeah.
Weird.
But he did not spit Muda mist, so.
True. Thank God.
Because that's what happens when you cut his mask. Just saying.
Does it? Is that a thing? Is this a trope I'm not aware of?
Future match exchange idea just planted in my head. Okay,
cool. You gotta say the number now. Remember the bit.
3!
The Bella Twins will be on Whose Line Is It Anyway on Monday.
I enjoy that show. And the thing is, with when they do the guests, it's a very limited thing. It's not like they actually make them do the whole show. They just kind of come in, and then the actual like improv people work around them for the most part.
Oh,
so yeah, it's not going to be a huge amount involved, but it's
gotcha.
They may allow them a little bit of, improv type of work
because we all need some Nikki Bella improv in our life.
You know what? Perfect.
Just every line starts like, yes, and
pre-mode. You know what? It's actually going to be Maurice as Nikki Bella.
Oh my, yes. All right, I'm in. And Daniel Bryan as Brie. It'll just be their wives.
I'm a vegetarian. 4.
X-Pac had all his charges dropped from when he got popped at LAX, supposedly for meth and other substances.
This is one of those things.
He was right.
Yeah, this is one of those things that gets blown out of proportion because he has the reputation that he has. And, I mean, sober or not, like, Sean Waltman's always kind of looked high to begin with. So, I don't know. But, yeah. Yep. Happy ending, I guess.
Yeah, glad he is truly safe and sober and all that mess.
Yeah. 5!
NXT canceled their appearance at Manchester after the bombing last week at the arena. They're going to use the day instead to take the superstars to the hospitals to visit people affected by the tragedy. So good on WWE. Also, you canceled it because it's still an active crime scene.
Yeah, I mean it works, twofold there. Again, you can't necessarily work there, but at the same time, you're still going to travel there and kind of do some goodwill. And I mean, as much as we criticize WWE and Vince and all that, they do a hell of a lot of work with children's hospitals and charitable type things. So, I mean, good on them for taking lemons into lemonade, I guess, or some other stupid analogy that I can't think of right now.
Yep.
We at 5? 5!
Nope.
6!
Chris Benoit was accidentally featured in an advertisement for a social media campaign by Walker's Crisps, which are essentially Frito-Lay in the UK.
Yeah, they're Lay's chips.
Yeah. I guess they did a promotion centered around the Champions League final because it's in Wales this year. And it was like, tweet us your pictures, and we're going to put them on a big fan wall outside the stadium. And, of course, it just got flooded with dead people and serial killers and criminals. And apparently they took the photo they thought was best and put it into a social media advertisement. Surprise, surprise, it was Chris Benoit's WWE headshot. And the guy looks at the picture of the video and goes, "Nice selfie." I was like, "Oh shit!" It's real. It is. You know what? It is really funny. It's really, really funny. They should know better.
Yeah. There's an intern or somebody that needs to kind of look at stuff like this and go, who is this guy? Should we know who this is?
They may need a new social media agency. And I know somebody that can help them with that.
I was going to say, I know a guy. 7!
Lucha Underground is back. They had their mid-season premiere Wednesday night, featuring an all-night long match between Willie Mack and Johnny Mundo. And obviously, we're recording the show while that's going on, so I have not seen it.
It's an all-night long match, and Lionel Richie is not involved?
No. Neither is Rich Swann.
Then garbage.
Yep.
8!
There's a video that Randy Orton put on social media this weekend, which may be my favorite wrestler in real life social media video of the year so far, where they're panning his pool, and you see him sitting there playing with his dog on one end, and it pans around, you see some kids playing basketball on the other end, and it pans all the way around, and you see one of his sons running full speed into the pool. Then Randy comes out of nowhere and RKO's his son as he's jumping into the pool. In the smoothest, most well-timed RKO maybe of all time. Did you see this video?
I've showed it to my children and warned them as I took them to the pool today that just watch your 6.
That being said, you can piggyback the story of the guy that murdered his 2-year-old by attempting a Batista bomb, but he did it next to a concrete wall and smacked the toddler's head off of it like a complete idiot. So that guy needs to rot in hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't try this at home.
I mean, it goes back to me being like, in like grade school when I first got into wrestling. And one of the things the first thing you do once you start to get into wrestling and like you find a pool with a diving board, you do every like dive and things like that off the diving board into the pool. The pool is like the safest thing that you can dive into.
Are you saying we should have a Patreon tier that's like, come have a pool party with us?
Yeah, I mean,
we'll just do that all day. It sounds like fun.
I've got the community pool here. It's not a community pool; it's the neighborhood pool, and I think I can have up to like 5 guests. So
fun.
Bring beer in cans, no bottles. 9.
Ring of Honor is debuting on television in India this week. India number 1. It's my only comment.
Number one. 10. Ring the bell.
All right. In other Ring of Honor news, the main event for Best in the World, their next pay-per-view, has been announced. It'll be Christopher Daniels. There we go, if I could say it right. Defending his Ring of Honor world title against Cody.
Ooh. Well, that's just asking for a title change.
Yeah.
But
Pretty sure it'll happen this time. It should. Again, I love Daniels, but put it on somebody that'll actually, sell. You know what else sells, Tom?
What?
When people go to Patreon or to cheatersneverpin.com and they click the Patreon button.
What can you do if you click on that Patreon button?
We're selling ourselves, I guess.
Is that legal?
I don't know, but they're giving us money for our services.
Oh, that sounds legal.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so if you go to cheatersneverpin.com and click the Patreon button on the front page, you can donate, however much you'd like a month to us as a little thank you to help us cover the costs of doing the show for you every week and for having the website. Yeah, but patreon.com, it just makes us feel good when you give us your money.
And once again, to kind of, you're not only supporting us at Cheetos Never Pin when you contribute to the Patreon, but you're also contributing to the 328 Podcast Network, which includes both our podcast, the Cheaters Never Win podcast, and other podcasts that may be in the works, but we haven't actually, fished those out yet.
Right.
And did you hear about the most recent announcement that our tag team podcast made? This morning? Maybe I guess
I haven't made it that far, so no. Please tell me.
Okay, so if you become a Patreon subscriber to the Section 328 group, which includes us and them, basically the same Patreon link that you were joining when we were trying to sell this in the first place. And you join by, I guess, the 22nd of June. So within the next 3 weeks or so. Patreon supporters, I guess, or whatever the term would be, will get access to the highly anticipated, much rumored drunk podcast that is going to be done at the NHL draft in mid-June.
Yep.
So the Section 328 podcast has threatened probably for the last 2+ years to do a drunk podcast. And they will be, finally, but only for Patreon supporters, of which you can be one of if you click on the Patreon button on cheatersneverpin.com.
What tier do people need to give to for that, Tom?
You can be just $1 a month if you want to be. It's just if you're any kind of supporter. Now, mind you, there are different tiers that you can join where you get other incentives like stickers, potentially T-shirts, things like that. But you only need to be a $1 Patreon donator, contributor, whatever the term is. I don't have a sheet in front of me telling me what the actual term is, but you only need to be patron. That makes sense. You only need to be contributing. Okay. So whatever level that you choose to be at, as long as you're a patron to our Patreon, you can have access by June 22nd or something along those lines. You will have access to that podcast, and only patrons will have access to that will not be made available to the public. So there's a little extra carrot to dangle in front of you.
Tom, what do you say we sweeten the deal a little bit for anyone who gets $1 or more by June 22nd?
Okay, I'm in.
Because if they're going to do a drunk podcast, I think we need one too, right?
Oh, yeah, I think that makes sense. So we might just as well.
And I think the way we have to do it, too, is it's got to be get drunk and give commentary over an old pay-per-view.
Okay.
And it's
I think we can do that.
Yeah. I think we get real drunk and we do December to Dismember.
Oh, boy. Yeah, I would have to get pretty drunk to watch that again.
So there we go. Yep, me too. So if you donate $1 or more to the 328 Media Empire Patreon by whatever their cutoff date is, the 22nd, we'll use the same date, you will have access to Cheaters Never Pin drunk, live and indecent watches.
I'm wearing pants. Sorry.
He won't be that night. watches December to Dismember.
So that will be something that you can only access if you're a Patreon subscriber.
You'll have to listen to it through the Patreon website and shit. So
yeah. And knowing how obnoxious I am and knowing how obnoxious JC is, we'll talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
And you'll feel disappointed if you didn't get access to that somehow.
The good part is if we're doing commentary over a pay-per-view, that means we're capped at 3 hours.
Yeah.
So that means we can only drunkenly ramble for 3 hours.
Oh, we'll drunkenly ramble for longer than that, but...
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Only 3 hours recorded.
Right. So, there we go. We're sweetening the pot.
A little extra bonus contribution.
All right, Tom. Are you ready?
I think I am.
Are you sure?
I'm bracing myself right now.
Match exchange. Start with the match exchange.
Got a little bit of shrapnel in my eye there, so.
All right, Bob Holly. Was it Crash? Which one of them got the glass in their head from WrestleMania 2000? Don't remember. I think it was Crash. So, joke fail.
Yeah.
So last week, our special guest, Trash Newton, Chris, gave us a match to watch from Ring of Honor's Supercard of Honor from this past WrestleMania weekend. Marty Scurll versus Adam Cole for the Ring of Honor TV title. What'd you think? We both watched the same one, so.
Yeah. So, full disclosure.
No, don't do it. Kayfabe Tom.
I watched highlights of this match.
Damn it.
Because I didn't buy the Ring of Honor pay-per-view way back when, and I was not going to pay a lot of money for it to see it now. So
it's too hard to seek out nefarious means to watch it.
Yeah, I went and I kind of looked around, and I got highlights on YouTube, which was nice. There was about 6.5 minutes worth of highlights. And I mean, I'm sure there was a lot more to the match, but I mean, I enjoyed what I saw. I've gotten to see Marty Scurll a bit for the last couple of weeks watching Best of the Super Juniors, and I think honestly watching him with a guy like Adam Cole is more suited to his style a lot more than the Super Junior guys. I enjoyed watching him work with Adam Cole a lot more. And I think they really complemented each other well. So many super kicks, but I think that's just a Ring of Honor thing in general. But yeah, I mean, I really liked the match. I enjoyed watching these two work together. Obviously, the end angle was enjoyable as well, but I mean, it was a good time. It was decently stiff, which when you're throwing kicks and knees like these guys do, it's going to be in order for it to be worth a damn. And I enjoyed it.
All right, I'll give.
I'm not going to give it. I was going to say I'm not going to give it a full star rating until I actually see the full match, but I enjoyed it.
I also watched the 6-minute video. Here are my notes from the 6-minute video. Given in traditional, let me just list them out fashion. There was no code of honor. He just kicked his hand. What a dick. I will always pop for Adam Cole, baby. The weapon standoff, LOL. So there's a spot where Adam Cole has the umbrella. Marty ends up grabbing the title off the timekeeper's table, and they just stand there while the ref's yelling, put both of them down, and get back in the ring. And it was very funny. Bebe into finger break. Nice. Nice spot. Adam Cole does his Adam Cole baby. Marty Scurll comes out of nowhere, grabs his fingers, and does the finger break spot. I enjoyed that. All the kicks, which it's an indie match, so that shouldn't surprise you. Kick out of package pile driver. Ugh. Snap pile driver and kick out. Ugh. Oh yeah. Damn, I hate I don't know if I hate Full Sail or Ring of Honor crowds more. It's like they're in a constant competition to see who's smarkiest. And those are my notes. I enjoyed it though. It's two of my favorite workers. So.
Yeah.
Yes.
And again, just the kind of like threatening of super kicks, but
yeah,
not hitting it, but then hitting it, but then yeah.
A little super kick denial. Tease him with the super kick. You want to edge the super kick, but not really deliver the super kick. I'm sorry, I'm tired. We should probably start wrapping this show up. Tom,
yeah, we probably should.
Tom, what match have you got for me for that review next week?
Initially, I had a match in mind, and then I forgot it when we were going through our pre-rundown. And then, I don't know when it was, but it triggered to me again. So, we're going to, in the Wayback Machine, to 1997. To possibly one of my favorite eras, I guess, in the Attitude Era, the beginning of the Attitude Era. And one of my favorite non-traditional pay-per-views. It was a In Your House, July 6th, 1997, in the Saddle Dome in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. In Your House 16 Canadian Stampede. It was a pay-per-view that was, In Your Houses were short to begin with, and this had all of 4 matches on the card, including a 5th match that was on the pre-show. But all you need to watch, actually there's 2 good matches on here, but the one I'm assigning you is the main event, where the Hart Foundation of Bret Hart, Jim the Anvil Neidhart, Owen Hart, the British Bulldog, and the Loose Cannon Brian Pillman take on the team of Stone Cold Steve Austin, Ken Shamrock, Goldust, and Hawk and Animal of the Legion of Doom. This match is notable in that Bret had already done his turn and was pretty much a heel. Austin was in his face kind of non-face face run. This was, July, so this is like, a few months after WrestleMania where they essentially did the double turn. And you've got Austin, you've got Shamrock. These are the Legion of Doom. These are traditional faces. Goldust was kind of doing a face thing. This was totally the complete opposite because they went to Calgary and Bret was basically welcomed like the president of Canada. It was, technically prime minister, I guess, but he was like the king of Canada. He showed up, and that whole group. Owen's pretty much been a dick for 2-3 years at this point, and they're all like cheering. This crowd is hot, and for like a kind of weird oddly traditional 10-man tag team match. It's a good worked match in general, but again, the crowd carries it. It is, it's
bred in Canada.
It's something to behold.
Okay, I'm excited for that one. And I want you to get excited for a match that I chose because it features one of the stars of Lucha Underground. But
what a shock! We're back to Lucha Underground.
Well, yeah, but he's not. He's not in Lucha Underground. This is not a Lucha Underground match. This is Jeff Cobb, who is the Monster Matanza, kayfabe, on Lucha Underground, versus who I think will be my 2017 Indie Wrestler of the Year, Matt Riddle. From, I should probably tell you what it's from. It's from Evolve 74. So it's, it would have been earlier in the year. This is a free match on YouTube. So if you just search Jeff Cobb, Matt Riddle, it'll come right up. It's on Flow Slam's channel. But yeah, I mean, it's a really good, I watched this afternoon. It's really good. It's just real strong technical wrestling, and just two big ass guys also beating the shit out of each other at the same time.
Yeah, I haven't gotten a chance to watch Riddle. I've wanted to, because
go.
I've heard
This is a good one
so
to watch.
much. I've heard so much about him and like how he's just like how there's no such thing as a sure thing, but like he's the closest there's been to a sure thing since, I don't know, Angle maybe.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So enjoy. It's a really, really good match. It's only about 12 minutes long, but it's
good because I don't have an attention span.
But it's really good. I think you'll really enjoy it. A lot of good mat work and stuff. So,
I'm not going to give you the other match that I really like on Canadian Stampede, but I'm just going to mention it in passing. For whatever reason, like I said, there are 4 matches on the card plus a Godwin's versus New Blackjacks match that was on the free for all. Mankind fought Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Undertaker defeated Vader. But there was a match here that was meant to be the debut of Great Sasuke. WWF at the time had seen Nitro building up this luchador group in the junior heavyweights and bringing over the New Japan guys and grabbing a bunch of the AAA wrestlers, and they realized that they were kind of missing out on this cruiserweight thing, so they had their own cruiserweights there. I mean, guys like Scott Taylor and Brian Christopher and things like that, but they knew they had to get somebody like key. So they went and they did the research, and they're like, oh, well, this guy, Great Sasuke, he's, former J Crown winner. He's, this guy's the shit. Everybody, they should get him. He was on the ECW pay-per-view. He was amazing. So they signed him, or at least they had presumably had a contract in place, and they debuted him at this Canadian Stampede pay-per-view. But obviously they need someone for him to wrestle with. So they ended up going, okay, well, bring over somebody with you, I guess. And, or who would you like to wrestle with? I don't know the full story or anything. So they're like, okay, well, we'll bring over the guy that he wrestled at the ECW pay-per-view. We'll bring over Taka Michinoku. And if you watch the match that I asked you to watch, and you end up watching any other matches, watch this one and watch how Sasuke is pretty much being positioned to be the guy that they're going to roll with. And for whatever reason, he does not get over with the crowd, but for whatever reason, Taka does. And they end up basically doing a 180 and losing interest in Sasuke. And I don't think Sasuke ever wrestled for WWF again, but they signed Taka Michinoku.
Okay.
So here was Sasuke, who came in with all this fanfare, and he had, I think, like I said, one match with the WWF, and it was his debut match, and they brought in Taka Michinoku to sell for him, and the crowd got completely into Taka and did not get into Sasuke, and they went, you know what? I think we want Taka, motherfucker.
Taka's coming. All right, man. Tell the people where they can find you on the internet.
Go to the Twitter machine. Look for @Mr. Workrate, @MR Workrate. I'll be around tweeting about various stuff. we've got a few more podcasts to go, and then I am going to Chicago next month through Hell or High Water to cover the NHL draft.
Nice.
So that may kill me. So that may be the end of the podcast.
Please
right
don't
there.
Die. Please don't
But-
die.
You can find me on other social media means, but I'm probably not going to friend you there. So it's nothing personal. I just don't use those things, and I don't really want to share my children's pictures with people I don't know.
You can find me on the internet at JCBOBBITT on the Twitter and Instagram. You can find the show on Twitter at Cheaters in VR Pin, and on Facebook under Cheaters Never Pin. Give us a big blue thumbs up there. And also be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to this show on whatever platform you're listening, whether that be iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, SoundCloud, YouTube, or Spreaker. I forgot to do that at the beginning of the show, Tom.
I thought something seemed missing.
Me too. Anyway. But yeah, I think that'll do it for another week of the Cheaters Never Pin podcast. So thank you for joining us. It's been a real good thrill. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
All right, so for Tom and myself, this has been the Cheaters Never Pin podcast. Thanks for listening. And Kathy Griffin, if you're listening to this, you can do our New Year's Eve show now if you'd like. We'll catch you on the flip side.